Kiss me goodbye and write me while I'm gone. Goodbye, my darling sweetheart, and hello, Vietnam. Sorry about that, guys. I'm apologising. I had to hear my singing voice and stuff, but I felt like opening with a song because it is Christmas. A Merry Christmas, everyone. I hope you're having a nice day. And I also wonder why you're sitting on your computer watching YouTube or whatever. Maybe you've just got a new computer and you're testing it out or whatever. But Merry Christmas to you guys, and obviously, as you can see, special occasion, my first Battlefield Bad Company 2 Vietnam commentary. So yeah, I downloaded this yesterday on the release day, and wow, what can I say, you know, it's pretty darn good, you know, that's a very good DLC, because firstly, as you'll notice, the game itself looks really nice, you know. Look at the environments and stuff around here. We're playing on a map called Hill 137, which is definitely the best map. I've tried all three, and I think there's only three anyway, and this is definitely my favourite so far, because there's a bit later on, and when you're playing as the GIs or whatever, and everything is just on fire. I'll point it out when we get there, but it is awe-inspiring, that's for darn sure. You can't really get the sense of it while you're playing as the MVA, which I am now, because you spawn behind the thing you're looking at, but you can definitely get an idea of what it's like, and they've definitely really hit the nail on the head with the Vietnam setting. For example, as you can see, what I got killed by earlier, I was the first to die, how fucking embarrassing. But you've got these boats coming up now, they've got the, you know, the brown machine guns on the front and stuff. It really does look like what I expect the Vietnam War would look like, you know, it's fantastic. Right now, I'm playing as a man named Charlie. That was my terrible Forrest Gump impression. I need to improve my impressions in general, really. And I'm using the M16 right now, the M16A1, and what can I say, you know, the guns, they feel like the guns in the regular Battlefield, you know. I don't mean the regular Battlefield, I mean the regular Battlefield Bad Company 2 game. And all I can say is, you know, you can't really unlock red dots and stuff like that, as I think you can't unlock red dots and stuff like that, I could be mistaken there. And but basically you've got all new guns, you've got all new maps, which is a bloody good thing, because as we all know, DICE, rather than make new maps, had a habit of just recycling old ones. Even in the latest Map Pack 7, it was just, some of the maps were maps from, you know, Battlefield Bad Company 1, so like Harvest Day and stuff, that was in Bad Company 1. So, you know, a little bit lazy on their part, but, you know, they still gave you lots of new maps, and they gave them to you for fucking free, you know, so don't complain about that, I certainly won't be. But now we've got some nice new maps, and in terms of actually playing the game, it feels a lot harder than what the original one was, because if you actually look at the game, oh, here we are now, this is the thing I was telling you about, because there's a little hole which the GIs come out of, this little cave, and then you just get the most beautiful view of this little area, which I'm defending now, and it looks intense, that's for sure. But anyways, back to where I was going. It's a lot harder than the original one, because, one, there aren't as many buildings to hide in and stuff like that, and, you know, when there aren't as many buildings to hide in and stuff, you've got to kind of take cover behind bushes and stuff so people don't see you. And that's the other thing. People hide in bushes everywhere, you know, not camping, but just trying not to get shot. And since, you know, everyone's hiding, you get shot from all over the place and stuff. And sure, that's what it's probably like in Vietnam, but it's scary stuff, what can I say? And it was a really good, nice change from the original Battlefield Bad Company, you know what I'm saying? I've actually been doing quite badly at it thus far. I really have. It's just for some, I don't know whether it's just because it's new maps and I'm not used to them, and but for some reason I just haven't had very many good games. This is probably the best one I could do a commentary on, which I recorded. I got a better score in other games, but in terms of how long the games were, and you know, a lot of not interesting stuff happened in the other games, so this is the most interesting one I've pulled out on my hard drive for you, and I'll keep playing it to give you more interesting views of different maps and different guns and stuff like that. I do use a couple different guns in this game, and of course I'm playing Rush. Rush is still the best way to play Battlefield Bad Company 2. Some people say only play team deathmatch and stuff, but those people are fucking retarded and can go jam their head in a blender full of, I don't know, used fingernail clippings or something, I don't know, or they can go buy all their food at the used bread shop. Ugh. But yeah, I remember when I was in secondary school, we were doing graphic design, and we had to draw this city, and I drew this city which had a used bread shop. It was kind of quite a surreal concept. I don't really know how it would work, but a used bread shop, what can I say? And but yeah, I actually had a dream last night about Vietnam, because one, this DLC, I was playing this DLC from maybe, you know, maybe 12 at night till 2 in the morning, something like that. It's just one of those situations where you look at the clock and go, oh shit, I better stop playing now. And I also watched a bit of Full Metal Jacket yesterday. You know how much I love that film, brilliant film. But that song which I was singing at the beginning is the song which opens Full Metal Jacket, so that's why I did that. And I ended up having a dream about Vietnam because of it. I don't remember too much. All I remember was just kind of walking through the jungle with a machine gun in my hand and stuff. That's all I can really remember. But for some reason, I just remember it was really good, but that's all I can actually picture itself. Isn't it annoying when you know you've had a really good dream, but you can't actually remember the specifics of the dream? That really does suck, I think. It really, really does. Alright, talk about some of the other things in this DLC. Sniping's a bit different in this DLC, actually, guys. I'm going to mention it. Not in terms of the mechanics and stuff like that, but it's things like, since there are bushes everywhere and stuff, like I've already mentioned, sniping's harder, you know. You've got to have a keener eye. You've got to see where the enemy are a lot quicker than what you normally would and take the shot before, you know, an enemy tank rolls up and stuff, because the tanks are a bit more deadly in this game. Because like I've already said, since there's no cover anywhere, then people are very eager to jump into the tanks, and so they can just take cover, you know what I'm saying? I haven't had a chance to ride in a helicopter or anything like that yet, but I've ridden in the boats and the tanks, and yeah. Some of the other new weapons you've already got this M16, like I've said. It's probably the best assault rifle, I'm going to say, the M16. You have also got the AK-47, which could be a bit better, actually, I think, the AK. Because, sure, it does more damage statistically and stuff, but it doesn't really make enough difference to warrant the lesser accuracy and the more annoying sights. So it's better to go with the M16, in my opinion, because it's got nicer sights and it's more accurate over long distance. I've said it. You've also got the American-made M14. Love that gun. I've already told you guys how much I love the M14. It works exactly the same as the M14 in Battlefield Bad Company 2, the regular one, except this one can go fully automatic and feels a little more accurate as well, actually. It kind of feels like when you use the M16 in Medal of Honor. And I also do suspect that a lot of the things in this game, you know, a lot of the gun models and stuff, DICE just kind of stored away from Medal of Honor from when they made the multiplayer for that, you know what I'm saying? Because like the RPG, for example, in this looks exactly the same as the one in Medal of Honor, except they've put some more camouflage on it and stuff. So they probably just made the 3D model for Medal of Honor, then just stored it away in an archive and pulled it out for this DLC. I can't blame them, you know, they made it, and it still looks cool, that's for darn sure. And yeah, but it's still a very, very good DLC, guys. I definitely recommend buying it. It's like £10, something like that, maybe a little bit less. And depends where you are in the world, I suppose. And I really, really like it. There's no download, no discount for VIP users or anything like that. You just got to get it through the regular store. And can't really complain about that, seeing as I've got everything else free because I'm a VIP user and stuff like that. Alright, try out one of the new guns with the engineer and stuff. You've also got new tools, which do the same things as the ones in Battlefield Bad Company 2, but the new tools, they fit the time a bit more, you know. Instead of this kind of like electronic magical drill thing to repair the tanks, you've got a blowtorch. Instead of having a defibrillator to revive fallen enemies, you don't want to revive your fallen enemies, heck no. To revive your fallen comrades, you've got a syringe of morphine or something like that to revive them instead. Okay, enough about the Vietnam DLC now, you know, you guys can play it for yourself and you can just kick back and watch the gameplay, you know. So, let's do some talk about Christmas, seeing as that's what it is, you know. It was Jesus' birthday, so happy birthday, Jesus. Well, some people say it actually isn't his birthday, but that's just when they celebrate it or whatever, but, you know, screw the technicalities. So, Christmas, I'm currently actually going to be at my old home. I'm going to be at my mother and father's house, which isn't where I live anymore, of course, but I'll be going there for Christmas, so I'll probably upload this maybe the day before Christmas Eve, and then just set it to public on Christmas Day, you know, so I can do it from home, and not have to spend a few hours rendering a video while I'm at home, you know, on Christmas Day, because that would be really antisocial, and really fucking retarded. Not to mention that I'm going to be really, really busy anyway, because on Christmas Eve I'm working 10 till 4 in the morning, and then I've got a few hours rest, and then I go back at 9 till maybe 3 in the morning at night. and that's going to really suck, you know, so it's like 13 hours or whatever, and some people may say, yeah, I do a 16-hour day, but, you know, that's not the point. I don't normally do that, you know what I'm saying, so it sucks, and, but, you know, it's a lot of money, so I don't mind, and strictly speaking, I don't have to do the day shift in the morning, you know, the day after Christmas Eve, no, the day on Christmas Eve even, but, I really want to, you know, I want the money, I want that extra 30 quid so I can, I don't know, pick my nose or something with a fiver, and, well, what I'm actually planning to do, if you've watched my BFB vids videos, my actual vlogging channel, I actually did a little bit of a rant on PC gaming, in which I stated that I really want to become a PC gamer, but, it's a little bit negative, actually. Some of the people have taken it a little bit personally and stuff, almost saying it's because I hate the PS3 or whatever, or I hate the Xbox. But really, you know, I'm still keeping my PS3, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to give up my console games. I would just like a PC that can play games as well, so I can play some of the really nice games which are on PC, and, still keep my PS3, you know, because I love my PS3. I've had it for a very long time, and I've always been a console gamer, so I'm not just going to give that up because I get a PC. What I'll probably do, I'll probably buy a lower end one, because when looking around town today, I'm about to pop out into town again to look at another computer shop. There's 2 computer component shops in this town, which is pretty cool actually, and I might just buy quite a low end regular PC, and then, well, not low end, but not high spec, so to speak, and then just upgrade some of the things, you know, like maybe get a new cell processor, maybe some more RAM, you know, that kind of thing, and probably end up getting a new graphics card as well, but that might be later on down the line. So but yeah, I would really like to get into the PC gaming and stuff, because the PC gaming, you know, if you've seen this game on PC, look at the difference in the graphics and stuff. The graphics on this one, the PC, no, the PS3 graphics on this game are pretty darn shit, actually, you know, there's practically no anti-aliasing or whatever. Look at it on the PC, then look at it on the PS3, and you'll realise the PS3 user's got the worst port. I haven't seen the Xbox 360 version actually, but it's probably got a bit more anti-aliasing than the PS3 one. Because the way the PS3 works is that it's got less memory on the graphics card, but it also works with a lot of the memory on the CPU. So you can get really, really beautiful games like Uncharted 2 and God of War 3 and stuff. But when it comes to multiplats and ports and stuff, PS3 sometimes is the worst one. It sometimes has a lower frame rate, and it sometimes has, you know, weaker graphics. But whenever it is weaker graphics, it's only little things, you know, like there's a little bit of a jagged line on that because there's less anti-aliasing and stuff. It's nothing to ruin the game, because graphics don't make a game after all. And I've also looked at the Mass Effect 2 demo, which just came out onto PS3 Store, because obviously that's going onto PS3 in January 2011, which I say that as if it's far away. It's not far away, it's like next month. And Mass Effect 2 on the PS3 is supposedly the best version of Mass Effect 2, because it runs on the Mass Effect 3 engine. So, you know, if you want to see the Mass Effect 3 engine in action, then go play the Mass Effect 2 on the PS3. But I haven't actually played Mass Effect 2 on 360 or on PC. But I reckon when I do get my game on PC, Mass Effect 1 and 2 will be some of the games I get. I tried Dragon Age on PS3, but I just didn't really like Dragon Age, you know, it felt too, crap, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I didn't really enjoy it. But, yeah, there we are, that's just how it rolls, isn't it? Alright, coming up to the end of the game. Now, see, look at the view and stuff whenever I die, and you can see that hill on fire and stuff. This is numb, you know what I'm saying? And I get the last kill in the game, if I remember correctly, so that's pretty cool. And, yeah, there we go, there's the end of the game. So, guys, thanks a lot for watching. I hope you go back to your family now and have some Christmas dinner, and I hope you have a really nice Christmas, and, I'll probably bring a video before New Year, just to kind of keep me busy and stuff, but I don't know. So, yeah, see you around, guys. British Fanboy out. Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas.